This is better. There we go. This is a good start now.
Hello. Yeah, there we go. Hey, good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
I'm waiting for like a big response back in this.
Yes.
Okay, this is Laura's my first time doing a live stream, so you'll have to bear with us. But if you have a little look on that side of the screen, you should be able to see that we've got a little section where you can ask whatever questions you'd like. We'll do whatever we can to basically answer what we can about Groomarts, who we are, what we do, and hopefully to kind of reassure you in the coming months that, we can get you doing something you want to do.
Yeah, I think, like we said before, you're going to do a little introduction.
I will do, yeah.
So Ben is going to do a little introduction, and then I do my introduction. Normally it's quite funny when we do the open day here, but today I can't move too much, so I will stay calm. Anyway, come on.
Okay, so very quickly to introduce Groomarts. Groomarts has been running in this building outside of coronavirus, has been running for 5 years and a little bit longer when you started out beforehand.
Yeah.
This is Laura's little baby, really.
Yeah, my baby.
It is, yeah. We've been set up really to try and make a difference to people like yourselves, to make sure that if you want to get the absolute best out of your life and to do something you really want to do, we give you the training and skills to make sure that happens. Of course, we offer accredited courses, and of course, we make sure it doesn't matter what level of learning you're at. We always take you to that next step. And it's not about getting a qualification, it's about making sure that you are professionally competent, so you can absolutely go out there and be fantastic in the industry. Lara, do you want to add anything?
Yeah, wow, you said a lot already anyway. Right, well, normally we ask to people is one of the reasons why you start to think to go in this environment, why you want to work with pets. And now we know why you want to work with pets, we know, no?
Yeah.
Because you are enough for your boss, you work in the office, you don't work with people anymore, you like to work with pets and the animals, with something completely different and genuine, something like this. And actually, we have, I think 80% of people coming to us, or a little bit higher, change career. So everything is possible. We put in business. How many new salons? 7.
We have managed to help set up. Officially, we've managed to set up over 740 new businesses.
That you can imagine is there is a reason why, and everybody are quite successful. So let me tell you something about myself first. Okay. I'm Laura. I hope I know. I stay calm. Don't worry. So I hope you already saw a video we did just to show a little bit around the academy, how we work, how we set up. But I started training people right 7 years ago now. In my little salon, was little salon, but we were moving nearly 45 to 50 dogs per day. Everything was super organized. The dog were stay with us no more than 2.5 hours. Everything was like we were working quite methodical. So the reason why Groomarts born is because I was not happy about the level of the knowledge, the level when I was looking for employees. People were coming to me to say, I'm working for 5 years, I'm very experienced. And then you say, okay, let me show me what you're doing. And then I say, oh God, this is disaster. So 1, 2, 3, 4 times, and I say, maybe I can do something. And I started training people. One of the questions was, do I really like to train people? Because I quite like to work with pets. And actually, I discovered something about myself. Yes, I like it. I like it because, like I said in another video, a long time ago. One of the things that now make me a little bit proud is when students finish course, they study on business, and then they call you back to say, "You changed my life. Thank you so much." You say, "Wow, I feel very important now." So of course, we're growing a lot. Because before we were little school, we few students, few dogs. Now, and I was by myself and another lady in the school. And now we have 4 teachers. We have an education manager. We have we have somebody working marketing, SEO, and anyway, we have a I couldn't say that. Brand strategies. So anyway, we growing a lot, and the big things that I want to make sure we still keep going. We need to make sure when you finish this course, you are professional. This is one of the things you need to make sure, and you have to put in your mind. We need to be professional. Okay, so to be professional is something else that open a salon. Actually, we call salon because we are professional. There are people called grooming parlor. Oh my God, this word is very not good sound on my ears because that means you are not professional. It's something else. So, yes, our courses are running with normal dogs. What does mean normal dogs? Everybody have dogs, everybody like to spoil your dog. I have 2 dogs and I spoil like a baby. I know it's wrong, but I do it. So you face with dogs that don't really like restriction, don't like to be on the table, don't like to be in the bath, don't like, and then you need to find a way how to manage these dogs in the best way you can. And respect. This is the other things. You need to respect this little animal and give opportunity to actually make some money or do business in the best way you can, or make your life happier. Okay. So, do you want to say something? I can speak.
Yeah, if I let Mark carry on, it would be like a 5-hour webinar.
Don't worry, we'll be not like this today.
Okay, obviously we want some audience participation. So if you've got questions, please do fire them away. We'll do our best to answer them. But I guess first things first, we should probably answer some of the main questions that we get, on our standard open days. Number one is there a market? Is there a market is really, really important, especially at the moment. Obviously, I appreciate that at this current moment in time, the vast majority of you are furloughed, stuck at home, so the market might not be that great. However, we both know that that's going to change. There are currently just over 13,000 qualified groomers within the UK. Now, the really important mark of that is qualified. Qualified means they've got a qualification. Doesn't mean they're up to the right standard though, right?
Oh, no.
Having a qualification doesn't necessarily make you the right groomer. How many dogs are there in the UK that require regular grooming? You okay?
2?
A little bit higher.
3,000?
A little bit higher.
90 million?
Not quite 90 million. There are near to 19 million dogs and cats.
That was my language. I would say 90. You didn't understand me.
Okay, well, with dogs, you've got just over 9 million dogs within the UK. Over 2/3 of those need regular grooming every 6 to 8 weeks. And if you are, I'm sure you know, if you're doing your 1.5 exercise a day, walking around, or if you've got dogs yourself, you will see that these dogs definitely need regular grooming. So there is absolutely a market out there. In fact, we would need to have, I believe it's another 78,000 businesses just to meet market saturation. So if you think about when we're in a position where we can have some sort of normal state of living again, the market will absolutely be there for you.
Can I add something? Just now in my mind. I believe because there is this problem with the virus now, and I believe this is very difficult moment for a lot of people. One of the questions people can have in their mind is what's happened after. Can I still actually make some money with this business? Well, I want to just to reassure you because we have in UK, I think it was now 10 years ago or something, a little bit more, no, 15 maybe, was another bad moment for the economic in this country. And I have the salon, I was running the salon at the moment, and I was one of the business so busy. People were so jealous when they were passing from a business and we were crazy working. The other business were suffering for the moment. So the reason why I say this is because pets are part of our life, and people care a lot, especially in this country. So don't really worry that we're going to struggle. Absolutely, I don't really believe it's going to happen. I don't say this because I want to convince it's something that exists, but because I really believe it, because I was ready in a moment when was a massive problem and I was working no problem at all. Okay, so of course you need to know what you're doing. That is the first thing.
Okay, I'm
Claire.
going to, yeah, I have seen that. So, Claire, first of all, hello.
Hi.
I will be answering your question about how many different dog breeds do you cover, but I'll answer that just a little bit later on. So I have seen your question. Thank you very much, guys. Keep your questions coming because we'll absolutely look to answer them. But before we do move on to that, I think the next thing that I need to kind of point out to you is your different options of training. Because there are different options. As Laura mentioned, I'm Ben, I'm education manager here. So it's my responsibility to give you as many different opportunities to learn on whatever different stage you've got. But really, really importantly, it's my job to make sure that you're getting the right standard of training from the right people. So, options that you have to learn. When we're in a position when we can kind of get up and around and do lots of different bits and pieces. Option number one, you can learn online. There is the possibility to take online courses, to do bits and pieces. And yes, online learning can absolutely supplement your ability, but really key in terms of your actual day-to-day grooming, if you want to be professionally competent, and in fact, if you want to go out there and do a professional job, Lara, can you do an online course and become a professional groomer?
Well, the big problem is what's happened after. I say no, 100% no, for a reason, because you don't know how to handle a dog. Handling a dog is one of the most difficult things. So how can you handle the dog? You can handle a computer maybe, type something, but you can't handle a dog. Is the point.
Okay, so really, really important. You need to have that face-to-face contact. You need to have that practical experience, which leads me on to option number two. Option number two is you can go to a local salon or to barn stables, which quite often do a little bit of grooming on the side. There's nothing wrong with that. You'll get plenty of face-to-face experience. But here's the question. Are you going to be taught by someone, one, that's appropriately qualified as a teacher, and secondly, are they going to teach you everything that you need to be the standard that you want to be? Because I know that if I'm in business and then I have someone come and work for me, I'm not going to teach them everything that I know, because then they potentially could take my own business. So if you are going to go down that route, you have to bear in mind there are some lovely, amazing people that want to give everything to you, but there are also people who will make sure that you know less than them, because they still obviously want to keep their business and they would see you as a threat.
Yeah.
Now, option number three, when this gets started up again, well, we'll have to see, but option number three is college. A college, there is absolutely nothing wrong with going to a college. It is reasonably paced. You're going to be taught by a qualified teacher. However, the qualified teacher, you need to make sure that they have got the right level of experience. With the right level of experience, I mean, you want someone that has basically run their own salon, that has the the ability and the expertise of knowing what it's like in a day-to-day professional environment that's beyond the classroom. So you want someone that's got that real hands-on experience that can give you the most. So it's not just a qualification, but it actually makes you professionally competent. Option number 4. Now, option number 4, yes, we're going to be biased, of course we are. But option number 4 is an academy. With an academy, it's completely different in terms of its setup. You have got people that are professionally qualified as teachers. You have got a customer-facing business, so you're dealing with dogs just from the general public. You are not going to be sharing a dog 1 between 2, 1 between 3, 1 between 4, like you would do in the college.
Especially now.
Yeah, especially now.
Yeah.
And you're going to be taught by people that have that experience of either managing or running their own salon. What's really, really key about Groomarts here, and this is the thing that I absolutely love, and it's the reason why I actually came to work here, is that academies like Groomarts genuinely look to make a difference. So if you're looking at your life thinking, I need to make a change, I need to do something that puts a smile on my face, I need to be sure that I'm going to make money from this, I need to make sure I've got the practical experience to make sure that it happens, we make sure that you can be profitable, even in these hard times. We make sure that you get plenty of practical experience, but we also make sure that your theoretical knowledge is just as good as your practical knowledge, because it's just as important to stay safe and to do a fantastic job grooming as it is to make sure that you know about the business side, the anatomy side, the law side, especially at this current moment in time. So if you're wanting real life experience that's going to make you professionally competent, an academy is certainly an option for you. I'm going to pass you on to Lara while I get to breathe for a little bit.
Yeah. Okay. So let me. I personally, I want to say something about this. I started in private academy. My course was there, but that was 25 years ago. And let me tell you something. Was nothing similar to this course, because the only something they teach me is the dog on the table. And what actually we teach you here is the dog on the table plus what is around the business when you want to run a business, how to handle a dog, the behavior, health and safety, how you work health and safety, that is important, different type of breeds, different type of techniques, how to speak with customer. How many of you, I don't know now, but how many of you go to the groomer and they ask for something, then when you're going to pick up, collect the dog, you have something else, and you say, what is that? Yeah, so you need to understand your customer. Sometimes it's not the customer the problem. Everybody it's easy to say, oh my God, this customer is so terrible, this customer doesn't understand anything, this customer. It's not the customer sometimes, it's you that don't know how to ask the right question to the customer. And this is another thing that you're going to learn here, because of course all the experience we have, especially because, listen, okay, I have a lot of experience, okay, and as you can see, I start to become older. My God, this is tragic.
I'm not allowed to say anything right now.
Don't say anything because I'm really not going to kill you. Remember, still pay your wages. So.
I mean, the government are not for that.
Okay, apart from these few months. So we have another 3 teachers, the main teacher plus an assistant teacher that is coming just once 1 week per month. The 3 main teachers, we have one have really 15-year experience in the salon, and she has some teaching experience ready from the past. And then we have Becca, the name of the lady is Becky, sorry, because otherwise she's going to be upset I didn't say her name. Hi Becky, I know you look, yes. And then we have Leah. Leah is the youngest teacher in this academy, but she has nearly 5.5 years experience in the salon. That is crazy. She's very calm and relaxed when she's teaching, but I don't want to talk about her too much because I like to talk about her when she's here. Otherwise, just in case, I prefer don't say anything now. Good. She's okay. Now, number 3 is Becca. She has a 4.5 year experience, 5 now, maybe, in the salon again. She was managing the salon where she's working everything. So the reason why it's important to have a teacher with experience, of course, there are all 3 qualified teachers too. So the reason why it's important is because they don't just teach you what is in the book. That is easy. Everybody can teach you what's in the book. But there are so much stuff that is so outside the book that if you don't have experience, you never gonna know. And they know. This is the point. So and they still learning. They do seminar time to time. They watching this, they watching that, and the reason why you become a good teacher is just because you have experience. You still learning. I still learning. I never stop learning because there is always something new. So this is something very good from this. I think I feel quite happy to have this type of stuff. Of course, when we have a technical problem in education, we go there. The band, no, that because sometimes you need to know exactly what happened in education. You need somebody, an expert. The band is more like, I don't know, more than 10, 11 years it was in that environment. No?
Yeah, I've learned my grades, as you can see.
Yeah, it's start to have this white bird from the moment they start to work with us.
So I'm going to look like Santa by Christmas. I know how it goes. Okay,
Right, let's start
answering the questions. Okay, so Claire, hello Claire, you said, hi guys, thanks so much for doing this. Just wondered, interested in the 4-week course, how many different dog breeds do you learn in that time? What's really, really important to say is that obviously we offer a number of different courses by different awarding bodies. I think you're probably going to be looking at the Open College Network West Midlands qualification. It's a level 3 diploma. It is possible to do that in 4 weeks, absolutely, and that's full time. What's really, really important for us, and it's absolute. Sorry, just slightly choking. Don't worry about it. I've not got anything. We're okay. Yeah, just to make things absolutely clear, thanks. We do 2 dogs a day. So during our practical sessions, we do 2 dogs a day. So they're basically brought in from general custom. And obviously during that 4-week full-time course, if you're doing 2 dogs a day, you can imagine the number of different breeds. I mean, as a point of assessment, we have to assess you on a minimum of 13 different dog breeds, and in fact, we do more than that anyway. So you will get plenty of experience during that time. We make sure that you learn a number of different styles and techniques, and we make sure that you're not only learning them, but that you can produce them to a professionally competent style. Now, obviously, we're not going to be able to do breed standard for absolutely every single dog because, even in pure breeds, you've got 220 plus now. But yeah, that's it's just really the UK. Hi, Becky. But yes, we've got lots and lots of different breeds that you will go through. You will learn lots of styles, so you can go out and run your business. I hope that answers your question, Claire. I can see you've got one little later on, but we'll work our way through. So we've got.
Can I say something regarding the?
Yeah, of course.
Apart of the breeds, now there are the most popular breeds in the salon is the doodle. What does mean the doodle? Everything is crossed with the poodle is the most popular dog in the salon. So pocket poo, labradoodle, golden doodle, schnauzer doodle, bichon poo. I don't know, the cavapoo. Just crazy. So this is another thing that I think maybe I don't know what dog have you got, but what normally people ask for this type of breed, they ask for puppy cat. That for us is not a technical word, but again we need to know the language of your customer. So we find a groomer for this type of breeds that if you do that, the dog is beautiful, is elegant, is cute, is whatever you want to say. So there is one groomer for all of that. Of course, you want to see that if you're coming to us.
Tracy, by the way, you are right. Bichon crosses are absolutely everywhere, well and truly there.
Yeah, oh my God, yeah, it's crazy.
So look, we're going to move on to the next question. So Diana, you've asked something really that's very important. Now, obviously, these are uncertain times, and we need to reassure you, I think, probably about quite a few things. We're going to move on to safety and class sizes a little bit later on, because you can see you guys have commented on that, and it's a really important factor to address. But another important factor is the financial side of it. So you want to know, is pet grooming a profitable business in this country? By the way, we've had people from 48 different countries. I wanted to go up to 50, come on guys. And you're saying you want to know, will it be affected by these hard times? The truth of the matter is that all businesses, without exception, are going to be affected by these hard times. However, we can tell you the average cost of a pet groom in the UK is
43.
It's £43. Now, I don't know about any of you guys, but when you've gone to the hairdressers, I'm guessing you've not had to be muzzled. I'm guessing you've not bitten your hairdresser, and I'm guessing you've not had to have a full body treatment. So when you're thinking about the day-to-day job that you're doing with a dog, actually it's much more comprehensive than the sort of thing that you would pay for a haircut. And people pay that, pay that and much more without even battering an eyelid. You can obviously see a dog is very much an extended part of the family. So when it comes to pricing yourself at a value that you are worth, don't be afraid to price yourself accordingly. Yes, these are tough times, but when we are able to go out and start our own businesses, and we'll talk about that a little bit later on, you are okay to price yourself accordingly. In terms of how resilient and how well-structured dog grooming businesses are, in the last 3 recessions, it's one of the few industries that's continued to grow time after time after time.
It's just crazy. It's unbelievable. Yeah.
So obviously none of us know exactly what the future holds. However, we are fairly certain that during this period of time, when we are able to come out of lockdown, dog grooming is something that will stay strong, that will be profitable, that will be able to not only make you, a little bit of money, but actually make you, a fully fledged career that you can do full time and love what you're doing. Annie, thanks for saying Annie. Hello.
Hi, Annie.
Right, okay, we've got some starting your own business questions. That's for you, really.
Which one?
So we've got, do you have any idea of how much starting your own business would cost?
Well, depending where you want to open your own business, because there are different ways to open your own business. There are people open on a high street, there are people open on like mobile, and there are people open on the back of the garden like a chef. So the price is a little bit different. Now, if you open a high street, actually we have one of the students from the last course, he just opened the high street shop now. You can, I think you can start to be no more than £20,000. Of course, I will ask a lawyer for that. I did this anyway in the past. I asked a lawyer from the bank and £20,000 to set up the shop, to buy all the equipment, to start. I remember, in less than 1 year, so of course I was experienced ready when I started, but less than 1 year I paid the money back. So if I did less than 1 year, maybe you can do in one year and a half to give the money back, no more. Now, what is important you need to know? If it's a mobile, we have students, quite a lot actually. They set up a mobile because when you have a mobile, you have to buy a van, and then there is somebody that set up the van for you, like a grooming salon. So in that case, you talk around 10 to 15,000 pounds. Now, the difference between the two, of course, the mobile is cheaper, it's away from the high street shop because you don't have to pay the rent. You work when you want to work. So if you have a high street shop, you must work every single day, or minimum 6 days per week, because you have a rent, you have the rates, you have a lot of water, electricity. In the barn, it's completely different story. But it's a different way to work too. So depending what people like to do. In the back of the garden, you can set up your chef with around 5,000 pounds, 5 to 6,000 pounds. I have this. We other student they did. It's going very well because, of course, is depending who will be the chef for you, because now there are people organize the pot ready to go. They come in your house with a massive lorry, and then they put this pot like a salad in your garden. That is quite nice. But that one, I think, go around from 10,000 pounds, depending the size, 10,000, 15,000. But there is everything inside. You can have a look at this one too. But it's quite an expensive route for the moment, I think. No, to send on the things, but it go away.
It'll come back, it's fine.
Okay, so let me. How much? How much? Yes. So the equipment that you need to groom it is to start. You're gonna spend around 3,000 pounds. Just that. So you need to think about this. You have 3,000 pounds. That is a grooming table, the clip, blades, scissor, brush, rakes. No tools. You need a hair dryer. It's a 3,000 pounds. Okay. After that, you need to think where you go in high street, mobile. So you need to add this expense in the top.
Absolutely. One thing that you'll also have to bear in mind is that if you are thinking about your PPE costs at the moment, so things like masks and gloves, or even just bare essentials like loo roll, you need to add on another 3 million to your budget just because everyone's upselling. Now, upselling actually is a really, really important factor to think about as well, because when you're setting up your business, you shouldn't just be thinking, okay, here is my grooming business. There are always upselling opportunities, of which Lara will talk about.
No, I can mark it. What I want to say before. Okay, so what I want to say before is this: you need to know how many dogs you need to do per day to make some money. Okay, so we did some calculation just because it's important to know this. With 3 dogs per day, you are okay. You can have your life. With 4, you start to make money. With 5, is a very good number. In fact, strange enough, if you go to looking for a job, say you do the course, you don't want to set up a straight on, you want to looking for a job, I don't really suggest you do that. But anyway, sometimes people want to do that. Normally, they ask you to groom it 6 dogs per day. Otherwise, they don't employ you. There is a reason, because they want to make money on you. Okay, but the good number is 5. Now, when you finish this course, how many dogs you are able to do it? This is another good question. When you finish this course, you are able to do it 3 dogs per day, no problem at all. Yeah, and I want to tell you, after less than 1 month, you start to do 4 dogs per day. Okay, so 2 in the morning, 2 in the afternoon. and it's working really well. We have this in the past again. It's working.
Tracy's raised a valid point. She said, are 5 dogs based on having help bathing the dogs?
Yeah, of course, including the bath, yes.
But are you having help being able to do 5 dogs?
Okay, that is a good question, actually. I say 5 dogs, no. 5 is the break point. That means if you start to have 6 dogs, yes, you must to have somebody. Of course, wait a moment. If you have the 6 standard poodle, or 5, so 5 standard poodle, you need to help. But if you have the 2 Shih Tzu, 1 Bichon, 1 Schnauzer, 1 Chihuahua, these 5 dogs, you don't have. You can do by yourself. I want to tell you something that make you laugh maybe. My sister can manage, that she's working in Italy, she can manage to do 13 dogs per day by herself. We wash, we bath included. So it's possible, but it's a little bit ethnic. I will not never talk with her after that. So yes, from after 5 dogs, I will start to have somebody wash the dog for you. That actually is better because you can spend a little bit more time to care about the grooming, the haircut, to make everything nice and tidy.
Okay, one really important question that was raised earlier on is linked really to your health and safety, and in fact to the health and safety of all the staff. I know that obviously now it's a really key time, and we're all being updated from the government on a daily basis. So we've got a constantly changing process. We will have a policy that's going to be changed regularly on the website to make sure that everyone's fully up to date with our plans to make sure that you stay safe the entire time that you're able to come and work here. Tracy, so once again, you've been on the ball with questions. Thank you very much. So you said, will course sizes be smaller now due to social distancing? We've actually rearranged how our academy is. So we've made sure that there's much more space, and we're looking to deliver things in as safe a way as possible. So when it comes to PPE, when it comes to social distancing, when it comes to teacher-student ratio, and making sure that we have staggered times for absolutely everyone when they're coming into the academy.
Yeah.
We've put measures in place to make sure that there aren't too many people in the same space. We're absolutely going to comply with government measures, but we're also not going to compromise on any of your learning at all. So you're still very much going to get that hands-on experience.
Yeah.
And you're going to absolutely learn about the key points of safety. But at the end of it, you're going to be able to groom to a truly fantastic standard. And from our side, one thing that's really key to me is that we look to support you afterwards. So it's not just a case of, okay, right, you've got a couple of questions now, great, lovely, or you've got questions whilst you're here. If you're talking about a week, a month, 6 months, a year, 2 years afterwards, it doesn't matter. We are absolutely here to help. We are always making sure that we can support you as best as we can. So in terms of your experience, yes, we're going to make sure that your safety is absolutely paramount to us, and obviously the dogs as well. But we're also going to make sure that you have the highest quality education, and we'll put in whatever measures we need to make sure that your learning is to the highest standard, both on the course and afterwards as well.
Yeah, I still have a student for, I don't know, 5 years ago now, 4 years ago. Now because we are in lockdown stuff, they just text me for advice of grooming or business when we're back. And of course, in a secret from a partner, I had to give an answer, and because I love to help people if I can. In fact, now we open we have an email for our students where they constantly are in contact with us during the day when they work, or I don't know, they make an appointment or a customer they never saw the breed, they don't know what to do, and we, in the other side, me and the other 3 teachers, of course, give advice to help to make it, don't panic, okay? Especially because when you do the course here, when you work with somebody for 20 days, you know the language, you know what does mean. There are technical words that you need to learn. So if you, after the course, you have a customer, you don't know what to do, just because we work together for 20 days, we understand each other. And it's easy when I say, do this, do that, and you just say, oh, okay, you go in. Okay, so yeah.
Okay, so one question that's just been asked to us is, do your courses run all year? Obviously, it all depends on what sort of course we're talking about. If you're looking to do upskilling courses, so you want to learn a particular skill, whether it be scissoring, hand stripping, Asian fusion, that sort of thing, we do have very specific workshops. If you're looking at canine behaviour or health and nutrition, once again, we have very specific workshops and seminars that you can access at various points during the year. But if you are looking specifically at dog grooming, when not on lockdown, yes, we run courses all year, hence the grey, hence the bags under the eyes. Yeah, we keep very busy. It's a full-time process, and really importantly, we don't want you guys to be deprived of an opportunity. We understand that you need something that's going to be not only commercially viable, but also viable in terms of time. You need something that fits in with your life that you can do, and as soon as you've done it, great, fantastic, you can start your career. That's why we keep our courses going, to fit in really with your lives and to make sure that you can get started straight away.
Right, so there is a question from Jude Evans.
Okay.
Yes. You booked it. Okay. Well, how quick depends when you want to do your 4 weeks course. If you do the 27 June, and depending on now what's up, of course, we Boris Johnson tomorrow. But I believe you can start in July course. I don't know how many spaces we have for the moment. I need to check. But for me, as soon as possible. Yeah, I need to just see the booking. That's it. That is the only something I don't have on my hands now.
Okay, what's really key with that one as well, just hi Jude. So yeah, just to say that when it comes to any dates that we have, please bear in mind that everything's going to be quite flexible at the moment until we have absolutely definitive advice from from our local council and from the government. We can't definitively say, yes, absolutely, you can come here. So we don't want to make any false promises, but we will inform absolutely everyone as soon as we know what dates we do have available. Right, okay, I think we'll move on to the next one. So we've got Abby. Abby, you've said, would you recommend Groomarts for students who want to work for existing businesses rather than start their own? Well, Abby, first and foremost, I would say, no worries, Jude. That's not what I'd say to Abby. That's just, I'm replying to Jude there. So, Abby, first and foremost, I would say, let's just think about this, not only in terms of short term, but long term as well. If you're thinking about becoming a professional groomer, your end goal for the time being might be working for someone else, but at some stage it might be working for yourself. It's difficult to say, but what's really, really key is you want to be a professional groomer. Well, if you want to be a professional dog groomer, you absolutely need to be producing work to a high standard. So regardless of whether you want to set up for yourself or you're looking to work for someone else, it's really, really key that you pick up those skills that mean that you are going to be fully capable of being a fantastic asset for someone else, or you've got the complete knowledge set to get up something set up for yourself. So the courses that we run absolutely are set up to make sure you are working to a professional standard, regardless of whether you're looking to work for someone else or you're looking to set up for yourself. You can.
Abby, how old are you? You can carry on to talk when I see.
That's fair enough.
I can. Come on,
Okay.
Abby. Don't be shy.
It's fine, right? Whilst we're waiting for Abby's reply, let's move on. So, Becky, you've said you're interested. 32. Okay, Abby, that's absolutely fine. I mean, you would be capable of running your own,
Yes,
business.
yes.
You don't necessarily need to wait for someone else. You can
No.
actually go and get started.
Yeah, can I say? Yeah, I want to say this. If you say 15 or 16, I'm going to say, okay, it's your choice. No, for you, we need to make sure if you come here to do this course, you start your own business. Of course, the reason why I say this is because otherwise, the money you spend for this course, yes, you give to somebody else. Then people are very happy to help you after this course, because of course. Normally what's happening when somebody's working the salon and they don't know anything, they have to send to us to do the course and they had to pay the course. Okay, so because I think for you it's a good idea to say, okay, I do this course, maybe I do 2 dogs per day, maybe I start to work from home. It doesn't matter, you can start to work from home if it's an economic problem, or I don't know which one is it. Okay, there are lots of people start from home, they build some customer, so it's your customer, it's not the customer from somebody else, and then you have to start again from the beginning. And then when I have the number customer, they you make some money, you put some money on the side, and you start. This is my advice. We always try to push our students to start their own business, because you don't believe how many knowledge you're going to take away from this course. It's just crazy. What you don't need to know, you don't learn, because what is the point? You're wasting time. You just learn what you need to know. That's it.
Okay, right. Becky, you said you're interested in grooming small dogs in particular, and to help owners with dogs that are nervous and possibly fearful in nature. Becky, that is a really, really lovely thing to do. Do we run courses specific for that criteria? I think there's twofold answer to that. One is, as I say, first and foremost, it's a really lovely thing that you're looking to do. Certainly dealing with nervous little dogs, yes, they are much more likely to take your finger off. Like there's no question about it. They can be yappy and very, very difficult. But we make sure that you learn a couple of things. So within the main grooming courses that we do, you are exposed to a number of different temperaments, obviously lots of different breeds, and lots of different size breeds. Do we run something specifically for small dogs in isolation? No, you don't. It's really important that you have a broad experience, because if we just limited it to small dogs, then if ever you wanted to branch out and deal with bigger dogs, you wouldn't necessarily have the same handling skills that you'd need to acquire for those. However, with the course that we do, you'd be fully capable of dealing with nervous dogs and dealing with small dogs. When it comes to understanding canine behaviour, we actually have that as a separate course. So yes, of course, you cover it, within dog grooming courses as well. But if you're wanting to further extend your knowledge, we can tap up that knowledge with canine behaviour, which is fantastic. It means that the incredibly valuable job that you want to do, we can make sure that you're best supported for it. Okay, I hope that answers your question. Tracy, you're 21 and a bit, you've not studied for a long time. What happens if you don't get a groom and a breed, so for instance, a Schnauzer, and you're at the end of 4 weeks? Okay, that's probably a fair question to ask, especially at this point. No worries, Tracy. When it comes to working on specific breeds, as mentioned beforehand, we don't have the ability to be like, yeah, absolutely fine. You're going to work on every single possible breed that you could possibly come across. That's not a possibility. But you can make requests, and I would say the earlier within the course, the better. We do try and make sure that you have lots of different varied breeds, and we can try and fit your needs. So, for instance, if you turn around and say, okay, well, I've got lots and lots of spaniels in my area, can I please have experience with that? Great, fantastic. We'll try and accommodate that. we've certainly got the numbers of dogs on our books to be able to do that. So what I would say is that if you wanted to work on a specific breed or breeds, we can show you. If we don't have the ability, you can always book to come back and see us and we can sort out something.
Yeah.
Or alternatively, when it comes to specific breeds, there are a number of different grooming styles that you can use that can fit multiple breeds. Because you have to bear in mind that, yes, you might want to groom a particular dog, but a particular style of cut could be relevant for 40, 50, 100 different breeds of dog. With that, we would make sure that you would know the most popular breeds and the most popular cuts. And as I say, make any requests and we'll do whatever we can to try and make sure that happens.
Yeah.
I hope that helps. Right, Becky, hello again. Yes, I have 2 Yorkies. My 10-year-old is particularly nervous. Should be good for practice too. Thank you for that info. Not a problem. Yes, if you do want to bring in your own dogs to have them groomed, please do. If you have a potential market for yourself and you're able to bring in the dog for a particular group, absolutely fine, not a problem. You can do so. Just organise it with our front of house, who will sort you out the booking system, will book in a slot. Great, fantastic. You can have that experience, and it's going to be fantastic for you guys because it means going forward, you've already had experience grooming the dog that's going to be part of your customer base in the future. Anything
especially because what always we say, if you have any potential customer, that sometimes when you do the course, you advertise yourself around in the park, when I don't know, to the neighbor, no, and they say, oh, so when you are ready, let me know because I will come to you, no. So this is the moment when I say to some students, take this donkey here, so we can work together. We do the best grooming we can. So and you will be not panicking the first time you're gonna have the dog. But yeah, I hope I helped this one.
Okay. Do we have any more questions? If we do, please fire away. One thing that I will mention that we've not kind of covered so far, and it's probably really, really important for you guys to understand.
That is boring.
Yeah, thanks. I like the way that Denise knew.
This is why people don't ask you. Okay, very good.
Okay, it's scary that you actually knew. So one thing that is really key for you guys to know, especially at this moment in time, thank you, Tracy. Going back to the business side, what I recommend is the best way to get your name out there as a new grooming business to get lovely customers. Okay, Tracy, I'm going to address your question as the second part of what I'm going to say. So first things first, you want to really make sure that you can set up your own business effectively. My first piece of advice to you is that it's different from county to county or borough to borough, depending on where you're based. So what you can do is you can go to your duty planning officer. If you're not writing that down, please do. So duty planning officer. They are attached to your local council and they are duty bound to offer you free advice. That's right, free advice to help set up your own business. Obviously, we're always here as a point of contact, but they are there to make sure that you can get the right planning permission, to make sure that you are safeguarding against noise pollution, waste disposal, and we teach you all these things anyway, to make sure that you're kind of sorting out footfall appropriately, and to make sure that you've got the right usage class. All of this information, we give to you in abundance, but it's really good for you to get advice from your local council as well, because they're the people you don't really want to upset, and they're the people that can kind of help you get started as soon as possible. When it comes to advertising yourself, I wouldn't necessarily suggest sitting in front of a webinar for an hour because, it's an interesting way of communicating with people. But social media absolutely is a fantastic tool. When it comes to using Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, using Snapchat, if you really feel the need, doing a little cute video on TikTok at the moment, which everyone is using, These are really, really good ways of being able to put yourself out there, but also just first and foremost, having a really good, simple website that demonstrates the type of work that you have and linking that with another Facebook page. It's a really, really great way of showing what you do.
Mm-hmm.
Another way, even more simple, and certainly when lockdown kind of decreases a little bit, is go walking. If you've got a dog, fantastic, showcase your talent. Your dog should be looking immaculate.
What about if it's a dog? Or is it stuffy?
Then borrow someone else's dog.
You need to put some curly hair on the top and start to groom like. Oh, actually, it can be like a fake dog.
Okay, I don't know if you guys can see the comments, but Becky, who's our member of staff, says, I love sharing my tips for advertising with students, always help with the ones that will work for you. So what we'll do is we probably will send you out a little email document to kind of give you some more tips when it comes to advertising for yourself. One thing that I would say is that if you're thinking about doing a leaflet drop, it's okay. It's okay to spend money. It's 0.04% return when it comes to a leaflet drop. We'll kind of share lots and lots of tips for you. And certainly when it comes to your type of business, how you advertise does vary. So if you're working mobile or high street or at home, how you should advertise varies completely. We can give advice specific to you if you want to ask us questions for that. We can do so at a later date. Claire, you said you tried grooming 2 of your 3 dogs recently. You've definitely learned from that. My poor Dash.
Oh, Dash. Which one are they? Is it wire coat or long coat? Which one are they?
Claire, please tell me you've still got all your fingers and 2 hands.
I love the breed. They're fantastic.
Whilst we're waiting for a response, does anyone have any other questions? Because if not, the sun is shining, and I don't know about you, but I think it's Pim's o'clock. Well, do you have anything that you would like to say?
No, I want to say something, but now because I want to know which type of ducks Claire has. Okay, yes, what do I want to say?
Okay, well, I know what I would like to say. This is to... Hola, Gabriella. You can see her. So we're going to get a dog, and once old enough, we'll be able to bring him her. Absolutely, yes. The earlier you integrate, the earlier you integrate a young pup or a dog that's been taken in as a stray, the better it is for the dog. And we'll teach you about integrating your dog into a regular grooming cycle. It is key that you do that as early as possible, and it's key that you learn that skill because it's absolutely last delight with the Dachshunds a wire.
Sorry, I love it.
It's really key that you bring in that dog as early as you possibly can. Lovely. Do we cover puppy visits in the course? We cover it to an extent. We cover general integration rather than specifically puppy visits because how you would treat a young puppy also is kind of encompassing how you would deal with a nervous dog. It also shows how you would deal with a stray that comes in or a dog with a particular disability. So, if you have a blind dog or a deaf dog, you still have to worry about their temperament and their welfare. We certainly cover the Animal Welfare Act, and we fully abide by that. When it comes to puppy visits specifically, yes, we can give you the advice that you need, but it's not something that we explicitly go, this is a lesson on this. No. But it is something that we can cover for you.
But we normally have puppies during the course. Not puppies a lot, but if we have 1 or 2 puppies, then of course we can't share the puppy. But sometimes you can learn just to see what the other student doing. Okay, so because of course we can do it in a different way. In fact, we always say during this course, sometimes when you wait a teacher, because we can be busy, and you wait, instead of just waiting and don't do anything, just use your eyes to somebody else and see what they're doing, because maybe they have a different case of you, and maybe that case is never coming to you, but it's another way to learn. Okay, because here a lot of stuff happen during the day. Every day is different. That is good. Every day is different. It's unbelievable.
Okay, I think for me, unless we're kind of getting any more questions coming in, and obviously if we do have more questions after we finish, absolutely fine. We'll send responses out. We'll make sure that you guys have plenty of chances to get answers to the question that you've got. I think the main thing that I would say is we are going to put your safety and your education first if you do look to come and train with us.
Yeah.
We want to make sure that you absolutely love every day that you come in and that you experience what it's like to be a professional groomer and you learn those valuable skills. And in this testing time, really, I think you need to look at it as an opportunity. It's a time to get excited. It's a time to take yourself away from perhaps a situation or an opportunity that you're not really happy with. If you don't like your current job, and I don't mean being furloughed, I mean, if you don't like your current job where you're sitting at a desk all day, you want to do something that puts a smile on your face, we can make that happen for you. So if you're wanting to make that change, we're more than happy to give you that support and to make that happen for you.
Yeah, thank you, Claire. Thank you, Becky. I will contact you anyway. Next week, maybe, just to have a chat with you. I hope my accent is not too strong. I know I had this. What can I do? I try to change it, but it's very difficult. So yeah, I'm really.
Okay, Diana.
This is yours. Thank you, Diana.
Thanks, Diana. Cheers. I thought I got away with that one. Okay, obviously at this moment in time, finance is a very, very interesting topic, especially for everyone at the moment. One key website I think I'd like to lead you towards is turn2us.org.uk. We'll sort out a little link for it so you can see. But yeah, turn2us.org.uk is a government-based charity website that actually helps you with links specifically for yourself. And it's not just a case of links to funding from awarding bodies or funding from the government, but it can also be funding from local charities and bursaries, because there are funding options available to you specific to your circumstances and specific to your area. As well as that, you've got credit unions that are offering very, very low rates at the moment. Plus also you've got local banks, and I'm not obviously allowed to mention their name for obvious reasons, but yeah, at the moment their interest rates are incredibly low because they want you to borrow. So when it comes to that compared to something like an advanced learner loan, which is government funded, actually their interest rates are the same. So in terms of accessible money, going to your bank actually might be just as easy when it comes to paying it back compared to going to look for something like an advanced learner loan. And with an advanced learner loan, what's really, really key is funding has been frozen for a 3-year period. So there's no funding available through that route until 2023. If anything changes, we'll let you know, but that's the current state. Diana, thank you very much for allowing me to talk about that riveting statement.
Oh, thanks, Diana.
And Lars, delighted that you like her accent. Okay, Georgie, you're booked for the OCN Level 3 diploma. Amazing. Just wondered how much of the coursework counts towards the final grade. Okay, this is me again. When it comes to the Level 3 diploma, and in fact, when it comes to an awful lot of the course that are looking to make you professionally competent, it is a balance. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that you need to worry too much about the academic side or worry about the vocational practical side. When it comes to any of the theoretical work, the coursework, the assignments, you can submit those as many times as you like. We will give you feedback. We'll make sure that reaches the right criteria, and we'll make sure that we give you tips to know how to improve. Even if it's superb, we'll tell you how to make it better.
Yeah.
You get feedback from all of your assignments, both theoretical and practical. The combination of the two things together gives you your overall grade. When it comes to newer courses, so for instance, the OCN Level 3 diploma, the qualification that you actually come out with at the end is the Level 3 diploma. So the diploma is the standard of work that you're going towards. It's not like a diploma to a pass, a diploma to a merit or distinction. It's a Level 3 diploma. So what we do is we just try to make sure that in terms of the feedback we're giving, it's not just about the grade for the qualification, it's about making sure that you can go out and do the job straight away. But if you're worried about any of the theory, we're here to help. That's kind of the main thing. Are there any other questions? If not, as I say, I'm quite happy to go.
What are you going to do today?
I'm going to go for a 10k run and
God. This is not normal.
then have a drink.
I like the second one.
Yeah.
Right, okay. Anyway, I will contact you next week, and then we can have a chat and see if you forgot some question and you have other questions. I'm more than happy to. I'm quite free now. Yes, thank you, Amelia.
Okay, just to say,
there was a lady I saw before that she came late to the webinar. She can see this one.
It's amazing, psychic. Just to say with absolutely everyone that's on here, hello. I will be making sure that this live stream is then uploaded automatically afterwards. So if you've got questions that you haven't thought on, you want to add it, you absolutely can do. You can email us at education@groomarts.academy. We will, we'll reply to you there. But yeah, this live stream will be uploaded so you can watch our beautiful faces from start to finish. If that's what you want to do with your sunny day.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of pretty much it.
No problem.
Well, guys,
thank you, Tracy.
Yeah, thank you very much to everyone
Julie,
for
no
putting up with us, and yeah, I think that's it.
Enjoy the sun today.
Bye. We hope to see you soon.